Hi friends! If you want to check out my best of skincare for 2019, then please keep on watching. Hi, my name is Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things, all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. This will be a lengthy video, so timestamps will be down below with the product listed next to that timestamp. I know I could be consistent with the suspense of it all, but I have a feeling you probably know what my favorites are, but the list will be down below. Where do I begin? Because there are timestamps, I'm going to go on a little what have I learned about skincare in 2019 chat. So I'll see you in another portion if you don't want to stay for this combo. The biggest takeaway I had from 2019 in regards to skincare is that less is more. Less is more products, less is more routine, less is more period. And I found that although I loved an indulging routine, it was getting a little much. It was getting a little much in terms of me applying 3 serums and 3 essences. I was very much inspired by the Korean skincare routine back in 2017 and 2018, and that definitely inspired me to buy a lot of their products, to do a lot of their routine, which is very lengthy and they utilize a lot of products. Now, during 2019, I was watching a lot of Dr. Dre, a lot of Lab Muffin Beauty Science, James Welch, Caroline Hirons, and I've recently started reaching Hiram. So there are a lot of influencers during the year that steered my routine and my approach to, I think, a more practical direction. I was applying less products, I was staying away from products with fragrance, and I was just lessening the steps because all in all, the less you do, the more your skin can actually have room to heal itself. I forgot that. The skin is an organ and it is very smart and it needs help in protecting itself from the sun, absolutely, in protecting itself from environmental aggressors and free radicals. And I understand products with those antioxidant properties and sunscreen, they play a vital role in that purpose. But everything else with the evening of skin tone and the blurring of the pores and this and that and making sure you layer this, that, or whatever, it was getting so much. And I was like, listen, pick your #1 active, which is tretinoin for me, and everything else should just be about cleansing, protecting, and moisturizing. That's it. And ever since I did that, my skin has been less irritated. It has been just more even tone despite the presence of past acne scars. But ultimately in 2020, I want to pick less. I want to leave my skin alone. I just need to keep my hands off of it. Also, traveling with skincare can be tricky, and I got tired of figuring out how to pack my several serums and several essences and several this and several that in mini bottles and vials, whereas I would just rely on 1 serum and 1 essence and just bring that with me and it'll be fine. It has lifted such a burden off my shoulders in terms of me trying to be consistent with my 20-step skincare routine, whereas if I just shaved it down, I could pack less, and because I already had that routine at home, when I took that routine with me, whether it was be at Maddie's house, or my boyfriend's place, or wherever, my skin will be fine with using less products because I had already conditioned it to accept and be used to less products. And also I found that I wasn't spending as much money on skincare because for me, if it has fragrance, game over. I don't care if these ingredients are from the depths of the fountain of youth. If it has fragrance, it just invalidates all benefits for me in that said product. And I'm so sensitive to it now, I pretty much eliminated a lot of fragrance from my overall skincare routine that anything I reintroduce just for fun, just to see, it's too much. I love the Good Molecules Instant Cleansing Balm. I love the texture. I haven't used it for a while because I will show you what I have been using all year and it is my favorite of 2019. I used it recently. I had to hold my breath and or breathe through my mouth because ylang ylang was so strong. I felt like I was enveloping my face and my senses were just overwhelmed with that fragrance. And it's sad because I love ylang ylang, but even a cleansing balm was too much. I might have been okay with the Green Clean Pharmacy, which was a favorite of mine last year as well, but with the inclusion of lime oil and all these other citrus oils, it's like, why is it there? Why is it in there? Maybe not as dire since it's a cleanse off product, so it doesn't stay on your face. Even the cleansing part, I was like, it's too much. Get this off of me. With that said, let's start with the double cleanse routine. I relied on the double cleansing routine since 2017, and ever since then I found products that were just very easy to use, not super expensive, and highly effective. Oh, before I mention that product, on my face I just have my Shiseido concealer on the spots that I need some evening, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in 5 all over my face, in 3 on the high points of my face, the Linda Hellberg Fantastic in Goldstone on my cheeks and lips. I fluffed out my brows a bit with my Goof Proof pencil and just kind of buffed with the Shiseido Radiant Loose Powder. And this is my no makeup look. Double cleanse. The two-step process where you rely on an oil-based cleanser, whether it be a liquid or a balm, to break down your sunscreen, which you should be wearing every day. Kate the Great Beauty. Makeup, dirt, oil, excess dirt and oil. Oil loves oil, and the oil will break that down to ensure that it gets washed off. Now, I have two. I'll share two. My standout favorite, which I actually finished, no longer empty because I repurposed the jar, is the Then I Met You Living Cleansing Balm. First of all, the packaging on this product is absolutely gorgeous, and it relies on sea buckthorn. I have my shea butter in here, excuse me. It heavily relies on sea buckthorn oil, and the actual balm was a very strong orange color, not artificially colored, and it wasn't artificially scented as well, but it did have a scent, and I think the scent was just a byproduct of how the product was formulated. It still was okay. It was like a very herbal citrus scent, but for me to use it every night, I thought maybe not worth me spending another $38 on, although this was beautifully formulated, emollient and rich, but it broke down beautifully well with water. It did not leave behind a greasy film, effortlessly cleaned off sunscreen, makeup, and excess sebum and dirt. Beautiful formula. This has won several awards, and congratulations to Charlotte Cho, who not only owns SoCoGlam.com but has then introduced Then I Met You last year. I really enjoyed this product. I'm not buying it again because I will now tell you the one that does the job just fine but is not as expensive, and that is a Hada Labo oil cleanser. This stuff is so inexpensive. I think this was like 12 bucks, 11? I don't even know. I got this from Amazon. It's just a no fuss, no muss, fragrance-free oil cleanser. It's not fancy, there are no frills, but you know what? It goes down the drain. And for me, ultimately, that's what you have to think about when you're spending money on a cleanser. You have to make sure it will effectively remove all that you need to get off your face, but not be stripping to your face and not take away the oils that need to stay on your skin. This does the job. And what I liked about this over the Then I Met You is that because this is more of an oil cleanser, it just had beautiful glide on the skin, whereas the balm, you needed to like work it in a little bit because it was very rich and creamy consistency. I love the slip on this. You don't have to pull or tug your skin when rubbing it all over your face. And yeah, some people think it's a little greasy, but I'm going to use another cleanser afterwards, so that wasn't a real issue for me. I enjoy this product. I keep using it. I actually have two. I have one here and I have one at my boyfriend's house, and I bought another one that's like this. It's a different brand, but still a Japanese brand. It's at Maddie's house. That's all I use. And let's move into now cleanser. I don't know for the life of me where my other cleanser is. I think it's at Maddie's house, but it is the Krave Beauty Matcha. I believe it's the Matcha Green Tea Cleanser, something like that. I'll put a picture right up next to me. It's like a gel type of cleanser, no fragrance, low sud, no fuss, no muss. It cleanses your skin, whatever's left over from your oil cleansing step, and just ensures that dirt and excess sebum gets washed off and does not strip your skin. It's very gentle and so ideal for anyone who's looking for a gel cleanser but still has sensitive skin that's easily irritated but don't necessarily like to use a cleansing milk or a creamy type of cleanser or even a foam type of cleanser. The other one I really love is the Then I Met You Soothing Morning Tea Cleansing Gel. This has a strange scent. It does smell like tea. It smells like tea. It doesn't have any artificial fragrance. It has like a gold, like a deep, rich golden type of color. And it has like a gelée type of formula. I don't know if you could see that, but it's like a strange, sticky type of formula. I rather enjoy this as well. This is a little less sudsy than the Krave, but they're both in the same category for me in terms of still being low sudsing, but highly effective in cleansing the skin, ensuring that any leftover from your oil step is washed away, but your skin is left cleansed but not stripped, and ideal for the next step. Toner, toner, toner. Now, I love the Aqua Licorice Water Toner, but unfortunately that has bergamot oil in it and has fragrance in it. Despite the inclusion of licorice root water, which has been said to be highly effective in hydration, replenishing, evening a skin tone, it has medicinal properties that very much are appreciated in a skincare routine that is looking for products that are lessening irritation and sensitivity. But because of the inclusion of bergamot oil and fragrance, I was like, oh, I can't use this as much. I have a big bottle of it. I use it once in a while, but if anything, I just use it on my skin, on my body, and I put my shea butter on top. But the toners for me that are stand out that I have been using all year are the Isntree Green Tea Fresh Toner and the Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner. Good Molecules was very kind enough to send this to me in 2019 and is pretty much done. It's hard to see because it's an amber bottle, but she's done. She's done. What was great for me in regards to the Good Molecules is that not only did it have a vitamin C derivative, niacinamide, the licorice root extract, which I loved in the Aqua toner, it didn't have fragrance, and it's a little more viscous than a typical toner. So it's watery still, but it has a little more body to it, which I really liked. So if you didn't want to apply this on a cotton flat, you could very much pour some in your hands and just gently press it on your skin. The Isntree, this is like, I don't know what the number is exactly, but it has a high concentration of green tea, which is said and studied to control excess sebum on the skin, so ideal for oily skin types, but also high antioxidant protection, as green tea is known for that. I'm almost finished with this toner, and I use it primarily in the morning since I'm going to, be out in the free radicals, and I then rely on the green tea to help with that battle. This looks like green tea. It looks green, and I feel because of that, no fragrance, no frills, no fancy things in here that's going to hinder the green tea's capability to provide that antioxidant protection. I mean, it is on the top of the list. I might repurchase this if I'm done with it. I quite liked it. I quite loved it during the summer, as I feel it wasn't, how can I say this? It didn't strip my skin, but I do feel because of the green tea, it's more suitable for my oily skin days, which I feel definitely optimal for summertime. I didn't use this a lot during the winter time. I relied either on the Good Molecules, or I just remembered another one I really liked and that I finished, the Pyunkang Yule Essence Toner. This was a little more viscous in texture as well, like the Niacinamide Brightening Toner. The Pyunkang Yule relies on a lot of Eastern medicinal herbal ingredients that are very healing in nature, and they rely on those ingredients to help repair the skin from the inside out. I really love this on days that my skin felt a little sensitive from the tretinoin, so because I'm done with this, I might actually buy another one because I really rather enjoyed that toner. Next up, we have Essence. I slowed down on the Essence. I was layering way too many. Instead of just relying on one that's going to help with my hydration levels, with lessening irritation, with healing my skin, possibly help in evening out the tone of it, to improve the brightening of it, I have to give it to, which I believe was the winner last year and just still is this year as well, is the Neogen Real Ferment Micro Essence 93% Microbial Ferment Complex. I have a bottle standby full in the box ready to go in my closet. I'm halfway done with this, and I finished one sometime last year. I just have to recycle it. Still on my shelf. You know how that happens. Probably wanted to do an empties video and I never got to it. This is phenomenal. No fragrance, no crazy ingredients that are going to hinder what the good stuff is supposed to do. It has a very watery texture. And it just plays well with others. I just love the simplicity of this formula, but how highly effective it is. I truly feel it has positively improved my skin's texture, my skin's brightness, the overall tone of my skin. I believe there's hyaluronic acid in here, which is a humectant. And when applying my moisturizer, the humectant properties of this essence just helps to maintain high levels of hydration in my skin. And it's hard because a lot of essences do have fragrance and I'm just like, I'm not using it. I don't care. And that's what kind of helps me stay focused in finishing my skincare products before I buy anything new. I don't believe in a thing you use so much, so long that it just stops working. I think what people run into is that maybe they have a new skin condition and that said product is not necessarily formulated to tackle that condition, and they might feel that said whatever product stops working. I'm all about maintenance, and I like the fact that my skin has not changed in terms of leaving the scope of brightening and evenness. Like, I love what it's doing and I'm going to keep on using it. That I do have the Then I Met You, not this product in particular, but Then I Met You came out with an essence toner of their own, which I really love as well. I haven't been using it extensively. That's why I did not include it in my best of 2019 because I think I just got it in November. So that's why I had to give it to the Neogen again. And it was either between that and the Pyunkang, but because there was an essence toner, I just put it in the toner category for best of. But yeah, man, this is the best. Essence, ampoules, and serums, they have blurred lines in terms of categories, so I will take this time. Again, Hada Labo. Hada Labo, where have you been all my life? Let me tell you something. First, we have the Gochujang. I believe this is the 3-weight hyaluronic acid lotion. I believe the Japanese call their essences lotions, or is it toners that are lotions? Let me know down below. And the infamous premium Gochujang 5-weight hyaluronic acid. This stuff, if you have dry skin, friends, listen, you gotta use this. It is so thick. It's basically like syrup, almost. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not really. You just pat it down, and this is what I found with products that have hyaluronic acid and lots of humectants in the formula. You have to make sure you use an occlusive moisturizer or a moisturizer that has occlusive ingredients to ensure that the humectant will keep the water molecules mostly in your skin and that your moisturizer will then slow down what is called transepidermal water loss. That's when the water molecules leave your skin and it's dry and sad. But if you use the appropriate occlusive like silicones, petrolatum, shea butter, mineral oil, any of those ingredients will help prevent that from happening. And we'll get to the best stuff, moisturizers, in a minute. I actually use this all over my body and then I put the shea butter on top. And then for my face, I've been using the premium. You just pat it down and man, oh man, I usually use this at night because it could be a little intense, like it's a little sticky, but once it dries down, it's all right. And since I'm just going to bed, it's not a huge deal in terms of my skin feeling overly moisturized because that's what I want. And that's why I rarely wear it during the day because I'll show you what I rely on as my humectant gel for daily wear. But I love the Hada Labo 5-weight hyaluronic acid lotion. It's phenomenal. Before I use this, I'm sorry I don't have it with me, but I use their emulsion, which is more of a lightweight lotion, and I feel it has incredible slip. It's so silky and feel, but very lightweight. So if you wanted the 5-weight hyaluronic formula, but not necessarily in the liquid formula, but maybe you can try the emulsion, which is a little more lotiony in texture, maybe more approachable for you, a little easier to apply since it's not this watery viscous texture, that perhaps the emulsion is something that will align better with what you like in a product feel-wise, you know what I'm saying? Moving into serums, I had to slow down on the serums. Before, I was using a glycolic and lactic acid serum or the glycolic acid serum. Yes, there's no drunk elephant on this list because of how they were treating customers and deleting comments. And if they did respond, their answers were very pretentious and patronizing, which is not good because they come from an angle of, you know, we don't use what they call the suspicious six. And if your skin is irritated by one of our products, then it's you. No. If someone used your serum and they have a flare-up, it could be your serum, despite what you ensure or you promise that said things will not happen. It can still happen because guess what? There are so many different skin types out there, skin conditions, skin whatever, that you don't have control over how someone is going to react to your products, despite your efforts in ensuring that the ingredients that you use are said to not cause sensitivity. That's not realistic. For you to say, I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, bear with me, for you to say that it's the client's fault and not your product's fault, or at least just to apologize and to offer a solution, if you're not going to do any of that, then that just speaks very poorly of you as a brand. And they use a lot of scare marketing as well, despite how beautifully packaged their products are. And I loved Drunk Elephant before. I had highly recommended those products several times over. They have been included in many favorite and best of lists. Not anymore. I don't feel the need to use them anymore because they're really expensive. It's an expensive brand to consistently buy from when it comes to skincare. And this year I found products that are not as expensive but still highly effective and do what I need them to do. And that's a wrap. And because of that, I no longer needed to rely so heavily on the glycolic acid serums or what have you, not just from Drunk Elephant, but from other brands, because my tretinoin has me on lockdown. I don't have it with me here. I forgot to bring it out with me for this video. I know, I'm such a loser. But the Krave Beauty Glycolic Toner is 5% glycolic acid, and sometimes I use that in between my tretinoin days just to slough off any surface level dead skin, because tretinoin, although very much always in the exfoliating category, it accelerates cellular turnover. It changes the biology of your cells, which is why it is considered a drug. And because of that, whatever it pushes to the surface, you still might have some tendencies to clog or have the dead skin hang out there. So that's why I use a glycolic toner, which is a lot more gentle than the Drunk Elephant, maybe once or twice a week, just to slough off that dead skin and just, you know, to maintain the brightness of it all. I consider that to be a favorite. I keep forgetting to use it, but I've been using it more consistently as of late. Okay, back to the serums. I know, I'm sorry. Have to give it up to the Ordinary Niacinamide 10% and Zinc 1%. I just love niacinamide. Is a fantastic ingredient. It helps with inflammation, it helps with evening skin tone, desensitizing it, it helps with lessening irritation, evening out skin tone. I mean, the benefits are endless, and I found when I started using this, I noticed very much an evening of skin tone all around, and just irritation was never an issue for me ever since I was using this serum. So it's nearly halfway done and I plan on finishing that. The Chemist Confessions Aqua Fix Moisture Basics Hydrating Water Gel. This was gifted to me by Beautylish when I was doing their Beautylish gift card event. I appreciate the fact that there are no frills with this formulation, no fragrance, a lot of different humectants in here. You have glycerin, sodium PCA, panthenol, allantoin, madecasside, and sodium hyaluronate. So this is what I use during the day instead of the Hada Labo, which I reserve for nighttime use since it's a little heavier in texture. This is what I use as my daytime humectant gel, and I love the texture it leaves my skin in. Very lightweight, despite it being a gel, it's not sticky in nature, and it just makes your skin feel super plush and ready for your moisturizer. Also, I love the CosRx Centella Aqua Soothing Ampoule. This relies on the Centella asiatica extract, which is known to be great for irritation, soothing the skin, just calming the skin if it feels very sensitized. And some nights where I feel the effects of the tretinoin, when I don't use tretinoin that night, I only use it twice a week because it's very effective and very aggressive. I use a Centella, and it's just great to have a serum that it doesn't have a crazy active, but it is formulated to calm and soothe the skin. And this is what I bring with me on trips, because if I'm traveling, I just want a formula that is going to soothe and not do anything in terms of evening skin tone or being an antioxidant. Like, I just need something that's not going to wreak havoc because I'm not home and I don't have everything in terms of products to address any crazy irritating or inflammatory occurrences if that ever does happen, right? So I want something on hand that's going to soothe and not drastically change my routine or drastically change my skin. And I have to give it up also to the Pyunkang Yule Moisture Ampoule. This has a very strange texture. It's like sticky, but I kind of like it. This is what it looks like, and when you start rubbing it in, you feel like the tackiness of it, but I love the texture it leaves my skin, and it's very plush, beautifully hydrating, but again, not sticky or heavy on the skin. And as I mentioned with their Essence Toner, they rely on ingredients very much influenced by the Eastern holistic approach to healing. So the ingredients very much herbal in nature, again, designed to soothe and to heal the skin from the inside out. So sometimes I use this on days when my skin feels a little inflamed and irritated. Moisturizer. 2019 is the year I learned what a moisturizer is supposed to do. When it comes to moisture, I always use the words moisturize and hydrate interchangeably, and they both mean different things. Hydration, I believe, refers to the levels of water that your skin can maintain. Is that right? Moisture is the capability of lessening transepidermal water loss. And the ingredients that slow down that process in a moisturizer are occlusives. So a moisturizer could have occlusives, humectants, and emollients. Emollients are the ingredients that soften the very edges of your skin cells to make your skin more plush, feel more smooth and silky. And it made me realize, because I always thought an oil was going to seal everything in, but an oil doesn't seal anything in because it's not an occlusive. That totally changed the game for me. I was like, I'm using everything wrong. So the moisturizers that have the occlusives that have helped slow down my transepidermal water loss. Oh my god, I got so many. The Biossance Squalane Omega Repair Cream, I rebought this in 2019. I'm almost done with it. I believe this relies on shea butter. I'll have to double check the ingredient list, but fragrance free. It relies on squalane to provide that antioxidant protection, I believe, and just that slip and emolliency to the product. No fuss, no muss. I love the texture. Despite its rich formulation, it doesn't feel heavy or greasy on the skin. A newer product for me this year, but I absolutely love, is the Good Molecule Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer. I don't have a problem with silicones, but I do realize that Good Molecules is trying to hit that angle of silicones are bad, and here we come to save the day. That's fine and all, but silicones are fine. But I love this moisturizer. Really light in texture, ideal for me to use under my sunscreen. It has like a whipped formulation that's very lightweight on the skin. This relies on shea butter as an occlusive, so definitely something I use in the morning to provide those moisturizing benefits but not feel heavy on the skin. And beautiful under makeup. This leaves behind a really nice smooth texture on my skin that's ideal for foundation application. The Bioderma Sensibio Lights, they have a rich formulation. The Soothing Cream, this is beautifully formulated. As their micellar water is in the pink packaging, so it indicates the soothing, healing properties of the whole line. This is, again, fragrance free. It doesn't have anything crazy in it. It's designed and formulated to soothe irritating skin, which for me, I feel all our skin has a potential to be irritated because it's up against the planet and all the pollutants and environmental aggressors that it has to put up with every day. So anything for me, which was another standout change for myself in 2019, is to just keep using products that are designed for sensitive skin, because we all in a way have sensitive skin. So Cerave, a brand that I always ignored because I was brainwashed, or I should say greenwashed, by articles demonizing parabens and silicones and all these other ingredients that are fine to use. Going on a tangent, I explained the Cerave moisturizer at this timestamp. I'm not qualified to read studies done on different ingredients. I don't have a science background, and these so-called medical journals and studies that are available online, I feel a lot of people are not qualified to read. They don't know how to critically read these studies, and they extract the wrong information, which is what a lot of publications do, and they spread rumors about certain ingredients and what have you because they only read the abstract and they're not actually reading the details of the study, and therefore they translate what they kind of read and come to their own conclusions, which is pretty much not what the study concluded at all. And I'm not one to read those papers because they are hard to read. And that's why if someone sends me a study, like, I'm not reading this. Okay, I might give it to a friend who has a scientific background and who went to school and is qualified to read those studies, and then will let me know what the study said ultimately. But I don't care about using products with parabens and stuff, because from what I heard from scientists and people from the medical field like Dr. Dre, I know a lot of you are not a fan of her, but despite what you think, she still comes from a medical background. Lab Muffin Beauty Science, who has a chemistry PhD. Caroline Hirons, maybe not a scientific background, but she's still very knowledgeable. And Cyril Laurent, I believe, is a cosmetic chemist. And the homies over at Beauty Brain, they're cosmetic chemists, which ultimately they have a strong handle on knowing what these ingredients do, because that's what they deal on a daily basis. So those are the people I listen to if I want information about certain ingredients that I'm not too sure of. I have my squad that I rely on, and I'm not going to read or believe anything from allure.com. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, what were we saying about CeraVe? I use their moisturizing cream all throughout summer. Now I transitioned into the shea butter because it's a little more rich and I think more ideal for wintertime skin dryness. This is their PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. It relies on, let's see here, glycerin, niacinamide, ceramide 361, hyaluronic acid, dimethicone. So it has a lot of great occlusives in here and reparative ingredients like the ceramide that rebuild your lipid barrier, and it has humectant glycerin as well as hyaluronic acid, and it has the niacinamide, which is a great ingredient to have in all things. The lotion is lightweight and, dare I say, something I can use during the day. I believe they have like a nighttime cream, but this is what I use over the summertime at night, because even though my skin could get very dry, this was the ideal texture and weight for nighttime use over the summer. Love CeraVe. I finished the moisturizing cream mostly. It's like down to the last drop. CosRx. This is their green tea aqua soothing gel cream with green tea and provitamin B5. It has the Camellia sinensis leaf extract, glycerin, pentylene glycol. It has panthenol, allantoin. This gel cream is a texture I never knew I needed in my life. It's so lightweight, but not sticky in nature at all, and perfect to apply under my sunscreen over the summertime. So it had the hydrating benefits and the healing ones as well, and then I would use my sunscreen, which will have an occlusive in the formula to help the humectants do their thing. Really lovely texture and not sticky at all. It has a really nice slip and silky feel to the formula, and I really enjoyed that using over the summertime. You could probably use this as a serum or like a step between your serum and your moisturizer if you love to layer. And if you happen to have time to do it, you could apply the green tea gel cream before your moisturizer either at night or during the day. Now here we come to the best part, my most favorite part of my skincare routine. Sunscreen. 2019 was the year sunscreen and I were like this now. I did not realize how much sunscreen you should actually apply on your face. Half a teaspoon on your face and half a teaspoon for your neck, chest, and ears. That's how much sunscreen you should be putting on a daily basis, friends. And then you have to reapply it. So here's why my favorites are what they are for 2019. So much to say, my brain just died. Sunscreens are often separated in two categories: chemical and physical. The correct labels are organic and inorganic. People refer to physical sunscreens as those products containing zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. I don't know why, and I used to do this myself. And I'm so happy I saw the light. I don't know why I would just refer to those ingredients as physical and then avobenzone, octocrylene, oxybenzone, and octinoxate as chemical. Zinc and titanium are chemicals as well. Everything's a chemical. Everything's a chemical. So when I hear people say, oh, but that has chemicals, I'm like, so does your physical sunscreen. I just want you to know that. And zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are said to create a physical block. They actually absorb the UVA and UVB rays the same way as organic filters do. But here's the thing, a lot of people are very sensitive to the organic filters, aka the chemical filters. They make their eyes sting, they make their skin sting, they don't like the smell. But the physical, aka inorganic filters, leave a very thick, awful film on the face. People embrace this, that's fine, but I don't want to be one of those people. Zinc oxide as well as avobenzone, I forgot the other one if there is one, are the filters approved in the US for UVA protection. Now, everywhere else on the planet has superior UVA filters that don't break down as quickly as avobenzone does, and they do not leave a crazy white film on the skin, and they're just overall more cosmetically elegant and overall have better performance than the filters we have here. And that is why my favorites of 2019 are either sunscreens from Japan or Korea or Sweden. This is the standout favorite sunscreen of 2019. I think you already know what it is. It is the Evy Technology Daily UV Face Mousse in SPF 30. I use the SPF 30 now in the winter season because the UV index overall is a lot lower during this time. It has hyaluronic acid, it prevents dark spots, it's anti-aging, it's polluting defense. I mean, this thing has it all. And it's a mousse. It's a freaking mousse. It says all you need to do is apply a golf ball size amount, and that is enough for not only your face but neck, face, and ears. This does not smell like anything. It might have like that aerosol smell, but that's it. And it melts into your skin and does not leave any type of blue, violet, purple cast behind. The most innovative sunscreen I have encountered in 2019. I still can't get over this. I have like 3 bottles of this on standby because I basically bought 2 more from Selfridges at the time when I talked about this in one of my favorites videos. I'm like, I need to have more. I need to have more. The next one, which this was the one that I felt was the best I have ever used at the time. It is the Krave Beauty, the Beet Shield. Now, because these have UVA filters that are not approved here in the US, we consider sunscreens as drugs here in the States, right? So because these contain UVA filters that are not approved for drug use here, they had to name it as like a shield or an antioxidant fluid, or else it couldn't be sold here. This relies on, I believe, Tinosorb S or is Tinosorb M, one of those. Uvinol A+. If you want, all the product links will have the ingredient list on the product page if you want to go into the ingredients for that. This has alcohol like some of the other sunscreens that I'll introduce have, but know that the alcohols are there to stabilize the UVA filters so they don't break down as quickly. So people with sensitive skin or eczema or rosacea, they might have to use one without alcohol. And there are a lot of Korean and Japanese sunscreens that do not contain alcohol. They still have the superior UVA filters in the formula. I have like 2 of these on standby as well because I love this formulation. Super lightweight and just beautifully cosmetically elegant under foundation, as well as the Evy Technology. The last one is the Nivea Sun Super Water Gel SPF 50. This has the PA++, 3 pluses, something I forgot to mention because it is not on the Beet Shield, but the UVA rating is a lot more reliable in Europe, Asia, and Australia. I believe Asian countries rely on PA. Does Europe as well? Let me know down below. The PA rating is a lot more reliable for UVA protection indication than our broad spectrum tests here in the States. PA++++ is the highest UVA protection you can possibly have in a product, and that's what the Beet Shield contains. The Nivea only has 3, but because of that, I feel that's good for daily use, maybe over fall, winter, and not so much spring, summer. This stuff is so good. Nivea is not a Japanese brand. It's a European brand. Is it German? I'm so sorry. Someone told me in the comments and I forgot. Please forgive me. I just love that it's a pump. It's a pump. It's easy to dispense. It's like a water gel. It is so lightweight in texture. You could apply half a teaspoon and it melts and just disappears readily on your skin. For those with deeper skin tones, you need this. You need this. It does have a very light alcohol smell, as I do believe it contains alcohol, but if you're okay with that, if you apply a moisturizer that's going to, again, keep your hydration levels high, and the occlusives will help prevent your transepidermal water loss, I don't think you need to be worried about the alcohol, but does not leave behind any cast. It's undetectable, so lightweight, beautifully formulated for makeup application. I mean, this stuff is the bomb. Even though it was more expensive because I got this at Midoriya, which is a Japanese convenience store. Perhaps it's more expensive because it's an imported item, but I'm sure if you get this on Amazon or your friends could send it from Japan, it's not going to be that expensive. Standout sunscreens for me, friends. I mean, it has made such a difference because I have hyperpigmentation, and the UVA, those are the wavelengths that penetrate deeper into your epidermis, and they're responsible for breaking down collagen, for possibly turning cells carcinogenic. So that's why the UVA protection has to be top notch, and why avobenzone and zinc are not necessarily the best for blocking those rays. Furthermore, they are responsible for darkening your skin cells and will therefore darken any hyperpigmentation that you have. So a part of a lessening a hyperpigmentation routine is not only using an ingredient, an active that's going to lessen or lighten that overall, but you need to prevent the hyperpigmentation that's already present from becoming darker, and that's why sunscreen is vital for that purpose, for that role, and why I have been wearing it diligently all year, and the correct amount of it. Reapplying it was rather tough over the summertime, so I wore a UPF 50 treated hat, and it was perfect, and that's why I wore all the time, and I made sure I never walked in the sun. I always stay in the shade. Wintertime, I will have a hood on if it happens to be sunny, or I just walk on the shady part of the block. Those are the means that I would take to make sure I wasn't in direct sunlight often, and that's why my skin color has not changed over the season. If I really wanted to look tan, then I would rely on self-tanner, but there's no way I will ever depend on natural sunlight to give me a tan, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it, friends. I don't want it. Oh, I think I'm done. That was a lot. Generally, skincare videos don't do really well on my channel, but I really love the dialogue that comes from it, and your suggestions are so helpful. Amy girl, thank you so much for suggesting those sunscreens. Those are my best of 2019 for skincare, friends. So again, wrapping it up and mentioning again, I am so happy that I decided to streamline my routine and just take out the frills, lessening the products that I use, making sure that the formulations don't have fragrance, don't have anything that could possibly sensitize or irritate my skin, just to make sure the tretinoin is going to do its job and to support that ingredient's role and ensure its success is priority for me. I'm very happy overall with the products that I chose to buy over the year and to use. And going into 2020, the blinders are on. The blinders are on in terms of all these new skincare products that are sprouting up right and left. And I haven't been swayed by the new products. I don't have FOMO whatsoever. I don't even use the Laneige lip mask anymore. I love that freaking lip mask. I recommended it several times. But you know what I use? My Cerave. Where is it? Let me get her. Hold on. I just use my healing ointment, which I forgot to include as a favorite 2019. This right here. I put this on my lips. Sometimes I put it on my whole face before I go to bed. And my skin's fine. No breakouts. None at all. Yes, it has petrolatum, which is not the same as petroleum. Okay? Dimethicone, hyaluronic acid. It has the ceramides in here. This is a fantastic product. This is what I have been using on my lips, and I haven't looked back since. I don't need to spend $20 on a lip mask. I don't. I'm done. I'm done with that nonsense. And with that said, I'm very happy that the money I'm saving on potential skincare products, I could then spend on makeup that really piques my interest and I want to use, or just save more on skincare and use up what I have and then buy what I ran out of. Very simple. Thank you, friends, for watching this very long video. Let me know what your skincare favorites have been for 2019. And again, your recommendations are always welcome. I always look to see what's good and new in the neighborhood. And until then, friends, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, get ready with me, or best of bliss. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.